welcome to the A Bit of AI show with your hosts, Henk and Amy.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the 6th A Bit of AI show with myself, Henk Boelman, and Amy Boyd. We both work at Microsoft as cloud advocates in the AI space. Hey Amy, good morning for us. How are you doing today?
Yeah, good morning. Very good. I finally got to go to the hairdressers, which is a win. So I actually don't look like our caricature anymore, which had huge brown-haired roots. So maybe I need to redo that.
Oh yeah, we can do that. Yeah, this show is really about everybody we met in our job when traveling the globe, when virtually traveling the globe, and we talk with people about their different skill sets in AI. We talk with people from pre-sales to consultancy to the people that actually create deep neural networks and run them in production themselves. So this is the 6th episode already. And I'm really excited to start to learn about this guest because he's going to bring something really new to this show. So in this show, we have 2 items. First, we will start with our guest, GP, to chat about his life in AI. And then finally, we dive into the Learn Challenge of the week. And today's very special. The Global Azure Bootcamp started. And we are also part of that. So if you're joining for the Global Azure from the Global Azure Bootcamp website, welcome. And the Global Azure Bootcamp is I think even 3-day virtual event with over 500 speakers going 24/7 for 3 days around the world. And all these different communities will stream about Azure, and a lot of them will also stream about AI. So let's not waste any time anymore, and we will invite GP to the screen.
Hello. Good morning, everyone.
Hi, JP. Good
Hi, Amy. Hi,
morning.
Hank.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Very fine. It's sunny in Paris, so life is good.
It's very nice here. This is quite unusual. I'm based in the UK. Yeah, nice and bright. I'm hoping to get a little bit of sunshine after this. Also, though, these lights are like artificial sunshine when we do any online event, so that's always a win. But hi, JP. It's so brilliant to have you here. I think our guests and our viewers are going to really enjoy hearing about your experience in AI. So let's get started straight away. And can you tell us who you are and what you do in the space of AI?
Yes. So I'm Jean-Pierre, so you can call me JP. I'm a data platform MVP, so I'm not an AI MVP, but I practice some AI sometimes. So I'm a data platform MVP for a long time. I think it's 13 years. And I want to continue with that this hour. I lead the French data community with other people. So I'm very involved in organizing meetups, conferences, etc. Around data, AI, Power BI, etc., etc. And my daily job is I lead the innovation for Avanade in France, here in Paris, but for the French region. So my daily job is to practice innovation, and there's a lot of AI in the innovation field with our customers and with our projects.
Wonderful. That's really cool. Like I said, you are quite a different guest to some of the other guests we've had. So I'm really excited to dig in to some of our templated questions that we use to show the similarities and differences in roles. And so my next question really relates. It's not easy to answer, JP. So just do your best. But all jobs look different. What does your daily job look like? What do you do every day?
Yeah, so every day I have 2 or 3 kind of job if I include the community part of my day or my nights. But I balance between working with teams in technology, so practicing AI, practicing IoT, practicing data management analysis. So I like to code. I like to play with technology. So it's one part of the job, but the other part is to manage and to discuss with customers, create offering. So we have to evangelize the market, to help our customers to bring value with AI. We have to not to have a speech about technology. We have to have a speech about value that the technology can add. So I'm balanced between discussing with customers about value of technology, bring by technology, and also playing with new technologies and with code with the team working daily on AI and data.
Cool. So you mentioned working especially with IoT and IoT on the edge. Do you have an example of a project you can share?
Yes, we are working with different projects. Some are customers projects, so I cannot give details, but we have created, I don't know if we can hear you, there's small devices. So we have created an Azure IoT Edge device that can recognize if you wear a mask or not. So it's fully using Azure IoT Edge, but there's a huge part of AI. So with my team called The Garage, we have worked for 1 year specializing into putting AI at edge. And it's not so simple because we have to deal with retain the accuracy of the models, but it needs to perform very well because we need some kind of real time. So we call that inference per second, IPS. So we try to create tools, create frameworks around measuring and helping accelerating project to bring AI at edge on small device. But sometimes the small device is NVIDIA or something very, very punchy. So sometimes the IPS score is very, very high.
But then, go ahead, Amy.
Oh, sorry. I love that because on a device, like having that IPS and being able to say, device X can handle so much IPS and device Y can handle a lot more. How do you experiment with that? How do you cater for that kind of design? Your team, does your team lots of different devices?
We try to understand and to generalize the methodology about putting some AI at edge. So we're working on some tools like AI Edge Checker, just to have a kind of harness and take the same model and to test it on different devices, just to see the impact of, for example, using NVIDIA, using ARM versus x86. So we try to have some learnings about that. In December, we have putting on Twitter an advanced AI calendar. So each day we publish for the same model the score, the IPS score of that model on different devices. And the most difficult part is that there's a kind of alignment you need to do with the hardware part. So, for example, if you are on NVIDIA chipsets, it's better to make the good choice at the beginning of the training. For example, using TensorRT instead of Keras or Tensor or the usual TensorFlow. So it's currently we are just consolidating learnings about putting AI at edge.
So it is really a combination that I find that really cool between like engineering, building the software around it to deploy it, to get the metrics actually in, and training the model with all different types of frameworks to see what is the most performant. Did I get that right?
Yes, and the team was both IoT engineer and data scientist and AI engineer, and it was difficult at first to make them discuss and exchange their point of view, because the data scientist works in their life. Their life is in a Python notebook, and the IoT guy is on a Linux shell. So we have to make them discuss, and at the end we have a kind of a framework just to accelerate the to pass from one world to another world. So the AI world to the IoT world.
Wonderful. Speaking of two different worlds, because at the start you mentioned that you have to talk a lot about the value to your customers. What are all the different types of people you have to speak to, and how do you manage that conversation?
We talk to different kind of people. It can be C-level, because, for example, some companies, some customers want to invest into having value and digitalize their job, or maybe transform their products or their business. So sometimes it's at C-level because there's a executive sponsorship of the project. So we have to be very precise in the numbers, because they don't want to know the difference between TensorRT and PyTorch, for example. They don't care about that. They just want to see how new technologies and AI will transform their business. But sometimes we are more pragmatic, and we discuss with people in a factory, for example, if a factory wants to be connected or digitalized. So we discuss directly with people on the field, and I prefer to discuss with people on the field, because it's very interesting to discover the job of people, and to try to bring the technology to change their life and to add more value. And but I have to adapt the speech between different customers. But the idea is the same: is how can the technology and the way we can implement it can change something in the business. So it can be high numbers. For example, worldwide, I want to gain to decrease by 20% the fuel consumption of all my equipments. But sometimes it's more pragmatic. But every time it's the same things. All the technology can change the life of people.
Cool. Then let's move into a little bit more about you, because I want to learn a little bit more about your journey. How did you get to work with AI?
At first, I'm a data guy, so I'm a data platform MVP. I work a long time with relational databases, with data. I love and I obsessed with data. But few years ago, there's a shift using data, because we used to use BI, business intelligence, to analyze things, to measure and to take action. But now the maturity of the companies, of the data culture in companies, is the answers between 1 or 0. It's not the good answer. It's not 1 or 0. It's between. So we need to have some kind of predictive algorithms that give us the confidence and the score between 1 and 0 to take decision. And when you combine all these prediction, you can act the best decision. So I look at the AI ecosystem, and I was passionate about that, because I love new technologies and I love to play with new technology. AI is not a new technology. It's just coming back thanks to the cloud and the maturity of the customers. But it was wonderful. I discussed with a lot of people. So I decided to understand the AI world. And as it's part of my job, it was natural to play with that technology and to fall into AI now, because I think it's 50-50. I do some classical data and AI 50% of my time.
I was going to say they come hand in hand, right? Like there is no AI without data. And we always say the least exciting part or the longest part of the project tends to be sorting out that data. Where is it? How do we connect it? What do we actually want to use? Because I think more often than not, nowadays, we actually have so much data available, but what is the data that's actually useful for the problem we're trying to solve? So thank you for sharing how you got into AI. I think people will find that very, very useful as well. All those in the data space, AI is a great space for you to start looking at. One of our other questions that tends to come up that people find quite difficult is AI moves. How do you keep up to date with the cutting edge?
Yeah, so I love the old school method. It's to read articles, read blogs. But I know the new way to learn is on video. It's on YouTube. It's on a bit of AI show, for example. So I spend a lot of time reading, seeing, watching video. But I think the best way to be up to date, it's not to be alone reading something, because there's so much thing to read and to ingest. It's too difficult. So for me, the best way is to connect with people, to discuss with people, to exchange with people. That's why I lead communities, because I believe that people need to discuss and to connect. And thanks to my team, so my IoT engineers, my AI engineers, my data scientists, I'm not frustrated, because I discuss with them with the new NVIDIA workstation or the new paper from Facebook about NLP. So I cultivate myself discussing with other, and I forge my opinions around that. So the team, I think the teamwork is very, very, very important when the pace of technology is very high.
Yes, exactly. You can't learn everything by yourself. You need a team to actually build a project. So brings me to my next question. What is the most annoying thing about your role in AI data?
Oh, it's related with the previous question. I'm every day frustrated because I can't play with everything. So, for example, I have received Azure Percept, so the device presented at the previous Ignite. So we have two Azure Percept to test. We are in the preview, and it was on my desk, and I have no time to plug in, to install the stuff and to play with the studio. So it was very, very frustrating to not have time to play with everything. But as I said, I give the device to my team, and they send me videos by email, so I can virtually say that I used Azure Percept thanks to my team.
That's amazing. And absolutely, I guess, yeah, it's bringing in that previous question that says if you work as a team, you can move faster, cover, but actually share. Also, I always find if you have to share what you've just learned, I actually think that's a harder thing to teach someone else, and you have to like truly understand. Challenges you a little bit to understand exactly that single part you're looking into. But thank you so much for answering a lot of our questions. We do now have our very famous quickfire round, JP. So in our quickfire round, we're going to ask you 6 questions, and we want you to give pretty much one-word answers, or at least just the first thing that comes to mind when we ask you this question. So, JP, are you ready?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. This is a nice, easy one. We'll get started off fairly quickly. So, what was your first programming language?
I think it was Turbo Pascal. I don't know if it's a worldwide language, but yes, it was Turbo Pascal.
I did that too at school, yeah, a lot.
Yes, it was at school.
Yeah, that was the language in our vocal education. So, next question. What programming language was used in the last project you worked on?
I think it was Python.
It's always Python.
Yeah.
I know, we're seeing a pattern there. We are seeing a pattern there. Python quite a lot. Cool. The next question, in no more than one sentence if possible. What was the last thing you learned in AI?
The last thing I learned, it's difficult question. There's so much thing. The very quick answer, it's this morning I learned that NVIDIA just released a workstation for data scientists with, I think it's 4 GPU, 64 cores. So it's it's not a laptop, it's a workstation. And so it's in the field of AI because it's for AI engineers. And we discuss a lot with people in the team and some colleagues this morning. So it's the last news about AI. Good? Is it correct answer?
Yes. There are no wrong answers here.
There are no rules here.
What is your favorite event in the AI calendar?
I loved, I think it was not last year, but it's the global AI tour. I think it's a good format for events because it's local, but there's a global coverage of the event. So I love because I defend the local community because people need to connect and they need to be close. So local, it's very great, and having people organizing at the global scale, it's a good thing.
Perfect.
Great answer. We love the global AI community too. So what area of AI is on your list next to skill up on? So what are you going to learn next in AI? Do you have any plans?
I know I have to be more accurate in about NLP. I tried for years to avoid to work on about NLP project, and all my colleagues are NLP fans and want to have projects around NLP. I prefer computer vision, but I think it's the next things I need to understand better.
Then you have to tune in next week.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, sorry.
Yes.
Can you repeat?
Oh, you have to tune in next week because that is all about NLP.
Oh.
Last question. What training framework did you use last?
I think it's the YOLO. I think it's YOLO on computer vision. On the last project, we tried different framework, but YOLO is always a good choice when dealing with object detection and computer vision.
Perfect.
That's great. Well, JP, you survived our quick fire round of questions and did it with wonderful examples to share with everyone. So thank you so much. NLP came up, Python came up. Had an interesting time with Pascal, love that. And also thank you for sharing the NVIDIA news, because now we all know about it as well. So that whole point of sharing in the AI space. But with that, JP, we will have to buy. But we have to obviously be able to work with you again soon. This has been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Henk. Good.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. We'll
Bye-bye.
see you in a bit.
Cool. So then we are at our Cloud Skill Challenge of the week. So what did you pick this week for us, Amy?
Oh, it was a hard one. When we were talking with JP, we talked about so many different things because he covers so many different projects. So I honed in on the one he was really excited about, which was the AI and IoT Edge piece. So what we have this week is if you go to a.ms/a bit of AI-learn, you can grab different modules that are part of the challenge. So the first introduction to Azure IoT, so a little bit more they were talking about regarding bringing AI down to actual devices and having devices send data to the cloud. Then the second one is deploy a pre-built model. So that pre-ing, some form of AI service. Oh no.
Okay. So can you say that the name of the module again?
Of course. Sorry about that. It's a pre-built to the edge device. So this is very much using pre-built AI. And then the final one is setting up an IoT edge gateway. So the idea of connecting all these things together. So it's 3 modules. Definitely an exciting sort of achievable one. And it also feels quite end-to-end as well. So I believe you're going to project.
Cool. That sounds like a good module.
Excellent.
Cool. That brings us to the end of the show.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, let's try.
Wonderful. Yes, let me take it away. If not, Henk, you know exactly when to step in. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. It's been a pleasure speaking with our guest, Jean-Pierre, and he talked to us all about the different types of work he keeps up in the AI space. We really excited if you want to join us again next week. So we're here every Thursday, 10 a.m. CET. So we also reach out to Asia Pacific and Europe time zones. So do tune in if this is for you. Our next guest next week, we're really, really excited to talk to her again. We had a chance to speak to her as part of a global AI community event. So we're going to be speaking with Inez Montani, who's the co-founder of Explosion and the maker of Spacey. As you mentioned, a lot of NLP and the tooling and packages that come with that, I believe, next week. So do tune in. If you want to re-watch this episode, everything is at abitofai.show. And with that, it's been, an absolute pleasure to have you. Henk, any final call-outs?
The only thing I want to mention is that we also have a podcast. So if you're watching live now, then you can also go to our website, or you can go to one of the favorite platforms and put yourself on your audio device and listen to this show.
All right. Well, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week.